podcast. Please wait. It's like I get a pop up just saying F you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going insane. How are you?
lovely. The same thing as well, going insane, slowly, little by little,
Insane in the membrane.
with a little pickle inside the tame.
All right. Outlawz is up apparently. Anyways, welcome everyone to the Outlawz Podcast. It really does mean a lot that you're stopping by. Thank you. Please, everyone. I hope you enjoy. If you ever have any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, or frets, feel free to direct them to me or any of the staff. Yeah, I forgot what we normally do. Oh yeah, I do random stuff. Anyways, I'm Ares, your local Denny's person stealing out of pancakes and going to Waffle House. We're joined here with Tamashiigaming. All descriptions down below. You can find him
Hello.
on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, OnlyFans,
Heck yeah, I gotta get that
Fans,
OnlyFans.
Fansly, Jerkmate. What are the other sites? No,
Every site you can name of.
sorry, I was reading off Amaram stuff.
uh,
And this is
that would be
get
crazy.
canceled. Yay, cancel a channel that has 61 subscribers. Well,
Wow.
I'm losing my mind. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Anyways, a fuckload of news has happened. Uh, yeah, so you know the Titanic sub, yeah, or submersible?
Yeah, I'm a bit confused because there's a lot of things that's like popped up on that one.
Dude, the guy who built it, the owner of the company,
Hmm.
did you see the shit that he used to build the sub and operate the sub?
I didn't. I heard that it was low quality materials, like
Not even that.
brick.
It was junkyard scrap, and the mechanism. There's only one button on the sub.
Damn.
Yeah, there's only one button. How are you able to control it? You might ask. Well, easy. With a knockoff Xbox 360 controller.
I thought it was a logic controller.
Yeah, it's a knockoff.
Okay, because I remember the actual creator came in and actually told everyone in the news, do not buy that controller. It was
Yes.
never meant for actual submarines or military grade stuff. It was
Yes.
just, you know, a knockoff of other controllers because it's for people that, don't have the good quality of a controller.
Yes. Um, hold on. Want to do some little googling.
Hmm.
Okay, so the depth of the Titanic is 12,500 feet deep
Hmm.
in the North Atlantic. Okay.
Hmm.
So the sub that imploded,
Hmm.
it imploded on Sunday, like a day or two before people like knew anything about it.
So it was instant at that point.
Well, yes, but like they were already doing the thing
Hmm.
and it imploded. Um,
Ooh. So it was not the lack of oxygen or anything like that, because I know people were just talking like as if there was enough time.
yes, but that's because they lost all communication.
Hmm.
Okay, so I see no reports on what actual death it actually imploded on. However,
Hmm.
like I said, the Titanic is 12,500 feet deep in the North Atlantic.
Hmm.
Uh, that sub with all the parts and things that were like, you know, chicken from a junkyard,
Yeah.
its max depth was like 2,000.
Damn.
Yeah. So Even the glass, it was like, uh, you know the glass they use for airplanes. I forgot the name of it. Starts with an F.
Hmm.
Either way, uh, that was concaving in.
For real.
Yes,
Damn.
and the thing is that they knew it caved in before that sub even touched the water because they ran tests. I'm
What
sorry.
was that?
What the fuck?
Hmm.
Like, you ran tests, you know the thing, collapses inwards. Yeah.
Yeah, it was even. It's crazy, and the fact that there was a lot of inspectors that warned him. Like the person, I guess the billionaire. I don't even know what his name is. Do you happen to know the name?
Which one?
There were two, right?
Yeah, there is a Saudi man and his son there. They're probably worth trillions. No one actually knows the amount of wealth they actually have. There was another
Hmm.
billionaire on there, and then like a couple other people. There's like a couple people who everyone who was on that sub was rich as fuck.
Yeah, the one that actually had the submarine.
Oh, that guy, I don't know, but he should be incarcerated.
Yeah, honestly, I remember that he ignored all the fair warnings that the inspectors actually told him, and he ignored them. One of them was fired before he even left. Like they started, and it was explained that it was not suitable to be in ocean. It needed to be fixed. It needed like a lot of stuff.
It
And
needed
the
to be
one thing
scrapped and then an actual sub being used. Like,
yeah, he literally just sent a death trap to all those poor people.
yes. Because like
So
think
it,
think about it, right? Like, hey, let's go explore this active volcano. Do we
hmm,
have anything to protect us from the heat? Yeah, I have aluminum foil.
yeah, well, literally, that's what he literally did. I was like, bruh. And then I had a conversation with a few people as well with that. It's like, I thought it was suitable. Like they said, like I thought it was suitable. They went in and out with that thing. I was like, yes, but that's what inspections are for, to tell whether or not it's suitable to work. And if you know your inspector is telling you don't do it, you don't do it.
And besides, if the
And
thing can be remote controlled, hey, how about we don't have anyone in it and then send it to the Titanic for its first mission and see if it will work entirely fine. And let's put cameras in it. So let's see.
that's why they should have done that first. But honestly, arrogance got too much for that dude's head. I was like, really? You really did a lot of damage.
But see, this guy, he fired
Mhm,
actual inspectors,
mhm.
lobbied some politicians, and got high up inspectors fired as well.
Oh, yeah.
And he refuses to hire anyone with experience, and he only hires people who are inexperienced, of like the newer, the younger generation, because the new generation has grandiose ideas and can do insane things. And it's like,
Yeah, I kind of saw that. I was like, okay, there's a mix between experience and unexperienced. I felt like he should have put both, like experienced and inexperienced. Like if he's that really
yeah,
keen eye for that.
that's the best way of it. But like the inexperience, I wouldn't hire them. What I would have done is like, if they wanted to work for me and I
Hmm.
had the money like this dude, I would have
Hmm.
just sent them to proper training.
Oh yeah, send them to see how confident they are to manage that thing.
Yes, but it makes the inexperienced experienced.
Hmm.
But I would already hire people who are already experienced, already certified, done it for like, 40 years or something like that, and then hiring new kids and then getting them trained.
Oh yeah. Oh, that is the definition of it. Yeah. Well, what I was describing a while back. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
and I,
think
I don't
about
mean
it.
trained in playing video games, like,
No, like actual training, like actual steps of what knowledge is for, bringing those people down to the water, like what to prevent, what to do when certain situations were to happen,
yeah,
all those
like
stuff.
like this. Thomas, do you know how to cut wood? On a table saw?
No, I don't.
Okay, so let's just say, okay,
Mhm,
I I'm a construction company. I hired you. You have no construction knowledge, and you want
mhm,
to work on a table saw. And I'm like, okay, I need this at cut at 1/14. Okay, can you do that? And you're
mhm.
like, yeah, sure. What's a measurement? Uh, but you know, can you see me right now?
Mm, let me see. Yeah, I can see you now.
Okay, so you got a piece of wood, and you're gonna put it on a table saw and push it into the blade. Okay, so
Mhm,
blade starts cutting, all that. Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah, what I just did is bad. Okay, you don't want your hands anywhere near the saw. So like as you get to here, you're gonna grab another piece of wood and shove it past.
mhm,
And this other piece of wood is gonna be long enough to pass it past the blade. Okay,
mhm.
that's how you do it safely. Otherwise, you lose fingers.
Oh yeah. Well, your video might be delayed, but I get your point. At least I
Yeah,
see what you mean there.
yeah, it is delayed. It just started playing for me.
Yeah. So I get what your point is. It's kind of like this as well too for anyone that needs another reference. If I were to give Ares a needle, like an actual shot, like for him to inject to a person, the first thing he would need to do is draw up the medication, right? It's like I tell Ares, Ares, give this person a shot, and I was like, sure. I'm gonna ask Ares how much, and it's like, this amount, okay. What do you need to do after you have taken out the medication?
Give them
And it's
240 milligrams of penicillin.
yeah, yeah, penicillin, or let's just say,
No, I'm fucking around.
and,
That's a death sentence.
it is a death sentence. I was like, I don't know, but you might have want to shorten that. But insulin, if you were to say,
No, but just
let's,
like straight up penicillin or, like
oh,
potassium.
oh yeah, potassium will kill you if you get too much of it.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, I know. That's just such like, what do you need to do after you give him a shot? Give him 240 milligrams of like, like another shot. Like,
uh, well, no, not that, but let's just say 5 milligrams of insulin. Let's just say that. I mean, milliliters of, well, actually milligrams. Let's just say that, right?
5 gallons, round up.
Oh well, let's just say we're injecting, right? And the first thing you want to do, right? Instead, when you receiving the medication or getting the medication out from the tube, is all right, Aries. What else do you need to check? As like inject it? I'm like, no, because once you do that, you can kill patient. The reason why I say that is because if you're a person that just feels confident saying I can give the injection, right? The one thing they lacked was actually not checking for bubbles.
Hitting the
The reason why.
veins.
And what?
Hitting the vein. Like, all right, here's the
No.
here's the syringe. Inject it into that person. Sweet. Stab straight in the neck. Like, no, in the
No.
arm. Okay. Withdraws the needle in the arm. Like,
Yes, kind of like that, but like the reason why I'm saying this very specifically is that for people that inject medication, the number one thing you should always do is check for bubbles. And I'm saying this out of caution is because if there is any oxygen or any bubble in there and you were to inject it to a person, you can kill them.
yes,
Literally.
you don't want oxygen in your bloodstream. That's why you see the little doctors do the little squirt.
Yes, that's the reason. That's specifically the reason. It's like a death sentence, literally, if you do not pay attention. There's a reason why people have to train others when injecting medication.
And not only
It,
that, don't forget to sanitize the area and look for the actual proper vein to inject it into as well.
uh, yeah, even sanitizing it with alcohol pads, but as well as the needle. Make sure you don't, honestly, it pisses me off every single time. Someone grabs a needle with their mouth and like, ah, I'm like, bruh, that's already disinfected already. Like at that point, you already made the needle like
Not only that, they also scrape the needle on the plastic tube on the inside, so therefore that needle is no longer liable because it would cause more damage going in and coming out.
yeah, because the needle of the like it would be dull by the time you even try to inject it to the person. So that's also another reason.
And
And
needles
I've
are a
seen,
one-time use.
oh yeah, 100%. That's why it's like you never do that shit. Like honestly,
Yeah, that's why I got concerned when I found a needle in my dishwasher when I lived in
Ooh,
Utah. Yeah, it wasn't
yeah,
just a
anything.
needle; it was like the full syringe. Yeah,
Ooh,
it,
yeah, that's a hazard.
yeah,
But yeah, honestly, training is important 100%. Like, even like making sure that the person's confident about it too, saying, "Oh, I'm able to do it." And I was like, "Good, you're able to do it," but you also got to prove it too.
yeah.
And
You don't test on dummies. I'm joking. Don't.
no, there are other stuff for that substitutes rather than human beings. Hopefully.
I said dummies, not
Oh,
humans.
okay.
You dummy. No, no.
How dare you call me a dummy? Becomes the dummy. Don't.
I need to practice. What was that? Morphine. How much? I don't know. The entire gallon.
Whoa! I can't feel fucking anything. He's like, you just see yourself running butt naked.
Is that God? No, that's a palm tree. Oh, is that a car? You're still staring at the palm tree.
It's like,
What's a tree?
oh, is that a tree? Yes, yes, that's a tree. Oh,
It collapses over.
yes. Oh, that's I always say. Just make sure there is training involved 100% of the time, just to make sure they are experienced with it.
Yeah, but like,
Because
dude, the fucking handles that were in that tube.
mm-hmm.
Jesus, he literally got them from the scrapyard. I shit you not.
Oh yeah, there was video evidence of a YouTuber that actually like was supposed to go in it, but it was canceled due to weather.
Yeah.
And when they actually showed like the handle or the thing when it closed, it was very scary
Yes.
because it seemed like it was not fully, pressurized and completely closed.
Not only that, they had like no other means. Okay, it was literally like a pipe bomb that they were in.
Oh yeah, literally. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, like the first prototype, there was a glass window on either side, and it was literally just like a straight up pipe bomb.
Ooh,
Yeah, like it was just like a straight up pipe bomb.
honestly.
And I find it funny. They're like, "Oh yeah, we sealed the hatch. It has 18 bolts." So it's like, okay, so if they land on a surface and they can't get the fuck out, and they're gonna starve to death, you want them to like do some cannibalistic shit, but yet they're gonna run out of oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I'm sorry, if I was designing a submarine or a submersible to like go to the Titanic and like do stuff like that, the kind of metal I would be using would be titanium.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why is because titanium is one of the hardest and densest fucking materials, so they're gonna sink like a stone, but at the same time, they're gonna be able to not have the thing collapse inwards. The glass I'd be using, motherfuckers, I don't even think I would be using glass. I'd be using fucking cameras, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like if I could get with glass and make it so they can see with their own eyes and do things like that, it's gonna be not just like, 1 foot fucking glass wall, it would be a thick ass motherfucker to the point where it's like, you know, completely strong, but then there's multiple seals in case like if the glass starts to break, there would be like a fucking seal that would just seal the glass, to make it so that this way it wouldn't implode,
Oh yeah.
you know? But like I would also make it so that they would be able to get the fuck out. I would also make it so that they would have food, medical, and oxygen tanks in there just in case.
Oh yeah, big time. I honestly even like I know it's a submarine, so being stuck there for a long time, it would be necessary to have like portable, what do they call it, something to pee on, something to defecate, or I mean
Yeah,
not
they had
defecate,
a
but
bucket.
yeah, get a bucket or like a bucket at least.
No, they
Some.
had a bucket. I would have a septic tank in there, like a little tank, you know?
Hmm.
But like at the same time, I would make the outside highly reflective as well.
Hmm.
Like picture the most reflective surface you could think of. It's more reflective than that.
Mm.
You know how you make a flashlight, right? You get a little light bulb, yeah,
Yeah.
and then you know how it's like has that shiny material around it.
Yeah.
I've been checking that shiny material.
That'd be fair.
You know what it is?
I really don't know specifically the name.
Aluminum.
Nice.
Very, very cheap material. Just covered that coating with that. That makes it so that even at night, when they're shining a light, they'll be like, okay, we're shining a light over here, and then there's gonna see a shiny thing over here.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? Like it will make it so that it's a lot more safe. At the same time, I wouldn't make it so that it's connected to like the main ship. And what I mean by this is like for like life support, etc. It would have like communication. It would have like extra tethers just in case like we need to pull it back up manually. At the same time,
Mm.
uh, either station can sever any of the cords at once, and this is why there wouldn't be a life support system through it. Because if you severed that and there's a hole and they didn't fucking connect that shit, you're gonna drown all of them.
Yeah.
So that's why I now life support it, and that's why I would make the submersible have its own life support and make it so that it's not gonna last them, 60
Mm.
hours. I would make it like last at minimum a fucking week or two.
That would make sense.
Yeah, but like, do you know anything about scuba diving?
A little bit. Only that, as far as I know, pressure is like the most important thing to know when going further down to the ocean.
You know what happens to your blood?
It gets a little. I don't know. I can't remember specifically.
So
It's
the
been so
deeper you
long.
go, so let's say you drop 20 feet, right?
Yeah.
You have to wait 20 minutes in intervals to be able to go to
Oh.
the surface. And the reason why is because if you just like go from 20 to the surface, your lungs will explode.
Oh yeah, I remember it because of the pressure of water and
So
going down the levels.
so imagine going to 12,500 feet deep.
Dude, honestly, that is like literally an instant death there because.
Exactly. So you would need enough oxygen supply to make it so that when they ascend, they're doing it
Mm.
in intervals so this way they don't explode. Now, yes, they're not scuba diving, okay? So they didn't need to worry about the nitrous and all that shit. Here's the deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather be safe or sorry?
True.
Because I mean, like, for fuck's sake, there's people that are, like the oil rigs, yeah?
Yep.
They have welders and all that shit that go to the bottom of the ocean and they stay weeks down there.
Oh yeah, to adjust to the actual like.
They stay weeks down there just because they're doing work. And then when their shift's up, they get transported back up to the surface and they're in a completely sealed capsule. And they
Yeah.
stay there for like another week or two and they're getting paid like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah. It's weird that you put it. You're like you're way down to that level, but in order to get back up, you need to go through this pressure chamber. It's a pressure chamber, I think, if I remember specifically,
Yes, but they
and
just
it
stay in the pressure
slowly.
chamber and they just go to the surface until their bloodstream's normal.
Yeah, and they slowly wait until it's normal. Yeah,
Yeah, and they're
it's
still
pretty.
getting paid by the hour.
Oh yeah, which is pretty awesome. That's I'm like, god damn.
Yeah.
Just to sit around and wait a while, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, but Logan, I don't know anything about Battlefield 8, but yeah, like all this shit is like quite insane. Like oil
Hmm.
rigs have a higher safety measure than a submersible company.
Oh yeah, big time.
You know why?
I think there has been a lot of like casualties in the
Yeah,
oil
because the
rigs.
oil industry is controlled by the United States government, and the government wants their oil. So if there's more accidents and things like that, the oil rig has to get shut down. So they want it to be safe as possible. So this way, the United States government can make their money.
Yeah, it makes sense because yeah, it would if there's a lot of casualties, it would be at the most important thing to make sure that you get your oil, and then there's no lawsuits coming around you as well too, or anything in general, because oil is important. Like you said, the United States want that.
Yeah. But like, all right, so You want to hear something incredibly fucking crazy that's just like barely coming to light now?
Mm.
Okay, so back in the old days, okay, you know how the CIA was like hated by everyone? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Back before that, okay, uh, the CIA, uh, when I forget the first name, Castro, that dude, yeah,
Hmm.
Cuba. I forget his first name. Anyways, uh, they tried to kill him like a shitload of times, and they came up with multiple plans and almost executed them, but they got red, so they decided not to do it, and they just like went back to the drawing board and came up with more plans. This is one plan they had. Uh,
Mm.
they wanted to go into Cuba, get access to the artillery, you know, all that shit, and then bomb the shit out of Miami.
God damn.
Yeah, they were literally going to kill innocent Americans. It gets way the fuck worse than that. That was like their first one. They had other ones where they just like wanted to start a war. They were gonna fly. All right, you know like how the Twin Towers went down, right, with the planes.
Yeah.
They were gonna fly a plane, a civilian plane, like a B-74-3 or something like that. You know, like a heavily commercial airline that houses like, you know, hundreds of people. They're gonna fill it
Yeah.
to the brim with Americans, fly it over Cuba, and let the Cuban air defense system shoot them down.
Okay, that's messed up.
Yeah, because they were trying to start a war. It gets worse than that. Uh, there's a lot of things in there, but there's one thing in particular that they did that made it so that the American public started to hate them, and
Mm.
that they stopped the trials. Uh, the CIA actually opened up brothels,
Mm.
not any normal brothels. They opened up two. One right next to the Golden Gate Bridge, and then the other one was in Chicago.
Mm.
These brothels, they would go out and hire hookers from the street, have them lead men back into the brothel, into those rooms, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like have a little fun, whatever, it doesn't matter. When the girl would go to the bathroom, they would do one or like seven things, but they all
Mm-hmm.
had the same result. They drugged the people who were in the room, either by spiking their drink, releasing an aerosol thing for the vents, etc., all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the girl would come back and talk to these men for hours and making them just like open their hearts and tell their deepest and darkest secrets, their company trade secrets, all this shit,
Mm-hmm.
all of it. And they started to brainwash people, and that's how they were going through with that. Uh, the only reason why we actually know about it is because of a dude who's in the financial records, saved all the financial records, and then he pieced the story back together because he was able to track back how much each prostitute was paid.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how this happened. He released a book on it, and he went like, you know, silent, you know, like he just like cut all ties, all communications and all that shit because there was thousands of people showing up in his fucking garden, camping out and trying to get their story told because the government fucked them over and they're suffering from like PTSD and trauma and all this other shit. Like they're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Gets way the fuck worse than that. You know the Unabomber?
Uh, it's been a while. I can't remember. Can you explain it?
Yeah, the guy who basically went around America bombing places and doing things, and you know, there's a Netflix movie about
Oh, okay.
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah.
yeah,
That.
yeah. The CIA used him as a drug testing thing. They laced him with a shitload of LSD and tortured him and did all that shit.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know
I'm
Charles
not as.
Manson?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the same thing.
I'm not surprised, but then I'm not. I'm. It's kind of like offsetting. You get me?
Yeah, because the CIA made the most famous serial killers.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not a surprise that there might have been some type of manipulation of like how to make a monster, literally, to get your own way.
Yeah. But see, the weird thing is that there's a guy who spent 20 years of his life investigating some of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
He has not even come to the bottom of it. He keeps finding new information. And it's
Um,
not like just like all these little different things. He's investigating one story.
mm,
He spent 20 years on it and he still doesn't know everything about it.
yeah, it's a lot. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of trail to it.
Yeah.
By the time you know it, the further down you go deep, more than likely would be an alarm for him later.
Yeah. Now imagine the United States government magically, disappearing $7 trillion and then a car bombing happens, at the base of the Twin Towers
Mm-hmm.
the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $7 trillion goes missing. Then to cover it up, they put a car bomb thinking that the tower would collapse. It didn't, so they just ran planes into it. You know the funny
It's not
thing?
a.
We gave
Mm.
Al Qaeda their weapons.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of sketchy ass shit that like you kind of wonder where the weapons are coming from,
Yeah,
and it's not a surprise that the supply and demand is coming from us.
yeah. The CIA went and gave Al Qaeda all of their weapons because of one man who was in the States and studying in New York City and became like very well known and very like prestigious in the school, all that shit, like all that. Yeah, his name's Osama.
Mm.
And then he went back to his home country and made a deal with the CIA for all the weapons, the AKs, all that shit. We're not just talking like 1,000, 3,000. It was like 37,000 AK-47s. Okay, it wasn't like a small number. It was a lot of shit.
Mm.
And the reason why they gave it all to him is because he was starting a regime and they wanted to
Mm-hmm.
topple the current government.
Mm. And I'm guessing it started with a betrayal after that.
No, no. They used him as a
Yeah, like a guinea
decoy.
pig.
Yeah, as a
That's
decoy.
that's what I'm saying. Like the betrayal, like as something that like the person was expected to get to actually get out of, but at the end, it's also the cost of their death.
We were not entirely sure they actually got him. That's the thing.
Um, supposedly,
Yeah, so
I can't. It's supposedly his death. I can't say like quote unquote confirmed, but or not. But that's what it says in the books.
yeah, it it also says in the books. Hold on, let's do a little Google search.
Hmm.
So in the books, uh, Lee Harvey Oswald.
Hmm.
Apparently, that guy assassinated JFK.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, it's false.
Yeah, I know that for sure.
Yeah,
They actually like came out a record saying that it was not his fault.
yeah. The CIA actually executed him.
Yeah.
And then they released like a shitload of information declassifying the documentations because it was mandated. It wasn't mandated because someone's like, "Oh, release the doc." No, it was released because it's like, "Hey, these are about to expire. We have to release them legally."
Hmm.
So they release it and then cover it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
here's the
not.
thing, okay? The CIA works directly for the president of the United States.
Hmm.
Why did the CIA kill the president of the United States, their boss? Why? How? Huh?
Hmm.
That makes no sense.
It doesn't, but it's conflicting. I don't know who was behind that, to be honest.
Someone has to be higher up than the president.
Oh yeah, big time. And it makes me think about all the stuff that goes on. It's like if a president, the one person that's in charge, can be assassinated by the CIA by someone else,
Yeah.
there must be much greater power than that.
Yeah, like think about it, right? Like, okay,
Hmm.
let's say I'm a corporate executive. I'm the richest person in the world, all that shit. And I
Hmm.
have a thing called Secret Service. And the Secret Service They directly work for me. They don't take orders from anyone or anything as such.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of them came together and killed me.
Oh yeah.
And then they pinned it on someone else. And then about, 40 something years later, something like that, they're just like, hey, yeah, no, we did it. We were told to do it. Um, yeah.
And they never explained what was the order and who it came from.
Yeah, nor the reason why or anything as such. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
They actually figured out the reason why.
What was the reason?
JFK was actually going to release information about the aliens.
Oh, just for that.
Yeah, he was actually going to release the information about the aliens, like Roswell and all of that.
Damn.
Yeah. Check this out. It's fucking insane shit. Like, it's all public documentation now. You can probably find it in the Library of Congress.
I'm pretty sure you could.
I mean, like, if you read Abraham Lincoln's letters, which I had, they're also in the Library of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is scary as fuck.
Wasn't there like crazy things like I don't know if it was like right or correct on this. I may be off, and maybe I'm just referencing the movie. But isn't it like there some supernatural stuff among the
Yes.
way?
He was literally at Niagara Falls,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, uh, to look upon the falls as I do today, as the giants looked back on this thousands of years ago.
Mm.
Yeah, like insane shit.
I remember there were scriptures as well referencing giants a lot,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
a lot of people
fucking
say that.
Jesus.
Hmm?
There's this. I don't believe this. I don't know if it's true or not, but this goes into the giants before we
Mm,
like talk about something else. Apparently, the CIA were massacred in Iran
damn.
because of a giant.
So it's a possibility that giants can exist in this day and age,
Yes.
depending.
So apparently, like what happened, they were going to do like some mission or something like that. They needed heavy artillery, and they were like flanking, like the
Hmm.
opposition, Al Qaeda, and they're like flanking. And as they're going through like this canyon valley shit, they're seeing all these like markers on the walls and shit, and they're like, "Yeah, whatever, fuck it." And they keep going through, and then like 100-foot fucking giant just like crawls out of a cave and just like slaughters them.
Damn.
Yeah.
It makes you think about that too. Like if giants were to be a normal thing in this world, possibly, right? I can't give a confirm because none of us has seen one, right?
Yeah.
Um, it can change the point of view of how we see the world itself too, when you think about it.
Yep.
Like, is the supernatural is a real thing? Because some people don't believe in it. Is there more than to what we think now, right? Like different species, different, humanoids or anything in general, like
Yeah.
the the possibility even like science can't even define. And I remember specifically there are things in science that just can't be defined and still gets proven wrong now these days just to be corrected.
So check this out. This is something I love to think about, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know how like wise tales, right? Like if you tell a story, it had to originate from somewhere, right?
Yes.
Well, the thing about it is that you can think of new things. Look at guns. We have guns now, okay? No one thought of
Mm-hmm.
that when we had bows and arrows, but we have guns now. So
Mm-hmm.
you can think of new things. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I'm not ruling this out that it's fake or not, but dragons, right?
Mm-hmm.
They fly. So they would have the structure of a bird, right? Like the bone density, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they have the density of a bird, that means collecting fossils from birds is incredibly hard because it is incredibly hard because the bones are like very light, fragile, etc. So like it would make sense if like dragons were real, the bones would like disintegrate, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot more sense, but at the same time, all the cultures around the world have always talked about dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Like what the fuck?
It's even a possibility that I'm not saying it's true, So
Yeah.
just anyone thinking we're crazy here, it's just a possibility. It could be possible that dragons could have existed during the time too, but gone through an extinction too. Or it can still be one that we don't even know today.
Yeah, but it
But
doesn't even need to be like a thing that's flying around breathing fire. It could have just been a thing that was just massive as fuck and just ate people.
yeah, and it could have been that too.
Yeah.
Ironically, it could have been that.
Yeah, like a pterodactyl, you know?
Yeah. And it makes it very crazy to know that that can be a possibility out there too.
Yeah. But like the more you dig into this shit, like the weirder and crazier it gets, you know? Like I had a dude, he claimed werewolves were real and vampires were real and they're coming after him, they're trying to kill him and shit. And I'm like, yeah, okay, dude, fuck off. You know?
Hmm.
And like every time I see this dude, you know, he like gives me the fucking creeps, you know, like it's like, you know, get the fuck away from me.
Hmm.
But like if he's magically like ripped the fuck apart, I want to give that bear a treat, okay? Because like this dude, he's like out in like the middle of nowhere, and there's literally a black bear at his neighbor's house. Like I got a picture of it. It was funny as hell. So, but he's like thinking like, oh, werewolves are real. I moved here to get away from them, and it's like, wow, you came to the right place, you dumbass.
Hmm.
You know, it would be better if you like moved to the city where there's more people. You know, like yeah.
Yeah.
You know, go to Boise, Idaho Falls, Missoula, Montana, Washington, anywhere in Washington. You know, you got hipsters everywhere, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, like I'm just saying, we moved to the wrong area. But you see what I'm saying? Like,
That's also a thing too. Between delusions and to reality as well too. It can be a confusion.
yes, but this is where things get incredibly weird, okay? And this is actually
Hmm.
proven with the prostitution ring the CIA was running. And it
Hmm.
wasn't just in America, by the way, it was in a lot of other countries. But here's the deal,
Hmm.
what they were actively doing was trying to learn how to brainwash people.
Oh yeah, there was a project that people talked about a long time ago, and I'm surprised that popped out too. That it was actually true.
Yeah. So
That
here's the deal.
apparently, hmm?
They can brainwash an entire
Oh,
population just by releasing some nonsense.
oh yeah. Supposedly, what people are speculating is they already have a serum that actually fully like brainwashes the person.
Yeah,
Or
I don't buy it, but like
I don't buy it either, but it's like
there's
I
an
don't know if
easier
that's
way.
real.
There's an easier way, you know? You get a person, drug them the fuck up, and then fill their head with a bunch of nonsense like in the Saw movies, you know?
Oh yeah, there is a way for that. There in the psychology books, they do describe that if you can persuade a person to believe what they're actually believing or what you want them to believe as, they will follow suit. But you need to follow a few steps when it comes to lack of eating, lack of something to persuade their brain to agree upon it.
And this is
So,
why I have started thinking about this today.
mhm,
I think they created an LGBTQ&A.
mm,
That I mean, don't get me wrong, yeah, there's a lot of fucking gay people. It doesn't really matter, okay?
mhm,
What I mean is like the entire movement, how it's like gone from like, hey, we want rights to like, you know, let's indoctrinate your children at their schools and get your children sex changes without the parents' permission and put them on all these drugs and make it so that they can't repopulate.
mm.
Because WPATH, the World Professional, I forget the rest of the acronym. WPATH, whatever the fuck it stands for. The elect president for it literally put out a statement stating that anyone who's gone through the stages of 2 to 10 for puberty blockers are infertile.
Mm.
Doesn't matter what gender. Huh.
That is a possibility, but then another possibility, like I said, just a reference for everyone. This is just a hypothetical thing. It's not true reality or anything like that. So
We
don't
don't know
take it as
until
we don't know.
40 years from now,
Yeah,
we'll find out.
yeah. And we're saying that this is not like to degrade anyone. We're just saying this is hypothetical questions.
Yeah.
And this relates to also like your question too, right? With the LGBT community, right? What if there's a chance that it also goes towards the Christian community
Oh, yeah, no,
per
I
se
think
too?
I genuinely think that the Christian community is like on
Hmm.
some other different level.
Yeah, it's like there's an obstacle between those two that can correlate with each other.
Yeah,
And maybe that's why we get this conflict between trying to figure out what's going on, but they're trying to make a confusion out of it. Do you get me? Like
yeah.
they're they're trying to put one to another to put us against each other to avoid the real question that goes behind the scenes.
But see, like the beginning, it really does matter if like the CIA did it, whatever. It doesn't. Yeah, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
like I can see an end goal. That's the thing.
Mm.
How do you take control over a nation?
Manipulation. If you can persuade people's minds, it's possible to
Anarchy.
have more. Yeah.
You introduce anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how. Because when there's total anarchy, that's when martial law gets called in.
Mm-hmm.
So think about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
What can dictators do? They can suppress all the news. They can suppress all free speech when it comes to news organizations or information being brought out to you.
Mm-hmm.
They can also torture and kill entire races at will whenever they want, which we have seen with the Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
We have also seen, even to this day, entire prisons filled with one ethnicity. And
Mm-hmm.
keep in mind, this is all still dictatorship. You can also control the entire economy and make it so that your closest friends become the one percenters, the richest there.
Mm-hmm. Is it even possible that right now our place, like, this is a question as well too. Is it even possible that we're already under dictatorship? Like, even though we're under capitalist state, right? Is it possible that it can be that way too? Like both capital and dictator.
It makes sense because someone has to be a higher place to kill the president with their own fucking CIA.
Yeah, and it would make possibly sense. I know that some people like I said, hypothetical question, so don't take this in a serious note. But this is just thoughts. But it also makes you think as well too, because when we live here in the United States, it makes you think, oh, we're in a capitalist world, free of the free. I'm like, it is not free. Honestly, throughout many books in history, it has described that we're on a certain system where it's nothing but corruption of labor, or like abuse of labor, and it's like slavery in a certain extent. So
Yeah.
when you think about it, we're being more controlled and not more free, and we can't express our own ideals because the system's made to force us to be in the labor that we do not choose to want to be in.
And I mean, like, even think about it like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, you want to protect children, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
let's end all school shootings. Let's save all the children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't matter. We're not talking about abortion rights or anything. We're just saying like alive children now. Like from
Mm-hmm.
1 to like 18, right? Like saving the children
Mm-hmm.
and the school shooters, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
When someone posts on Twitter saying, "Hey, they should really leave the children alone," that's the real issue. And then that person gets canceled by a large company and costing that company millions of dollars, if not more, severing entire contracts, starting a boycott and a whole feud over it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get another company that just, straight up manufactures alcohol and
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to shove LGBTQ and A down your throat when all they really need to do is just sell beer. Like they don't even need to do any advertising or marketing. Alcohol sells itself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need commercials. You could put up a commercial like Bud Light. Done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know how everyone was like in love with like Mountain Dew and they're like, this is the gamer's drink. If you play Call of Duty, you should be drinking Bud Light because both those companies I just talked about,
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty, Bud Light, Call of Groomers.
Well, I can't really describe that. I can't give an honest opinion because, like I said, there's too many mixed conflicts between each side. So I can understand your side. Like I said.
Yeah, but I mean, like, come on, that simple little message, like, they should leave the little kids alone. That's a really issue. And then they're like, hey, we're gonna sever
Oh,
your $100 million contract.
oh yeah. Honestly, it was just the context that was just lacking, and they should have, like I said, every single time, every company starts doing this stuff, they need to understand the context behind that, because,
A little,
like I said,
I gotta pee.
yeah, not that, but in a certain extent, it's like, yeah, to avoid the issue at hand. Like, context is the biggest key, and if you don't give a person the chance to talk about it, or explain it, it's kind of looks wrong on the company itself, honestly. And to the people that assume saying, "Oh, this person's this and that," please take in consideration that maybe there's not much in context there, but there needs to be context. Let the person speak first before you rightly assume, because that's where you get your words wrong, and that's where you're like, I get you, rights, all that stuff for other people gets all mixed up, and it doesn't look right in both parts. But do you get me on that one, Aries? Did you lag out? Oh, I'm guessing you're not there for a bit. But yeah, what happened to the person was kind of bad on their own, of course. And 100%, there are both sides that do need to be addressed on that part. Aries is like,
I told you you had to pee.
oh, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I said, go on a little tangent. I gotta pee. And you're like, not that.
Oh, I heard less. I was like, I thought you meant something else. I was like, what?
No, I'm like, hold on. I gotta pee.
I thought,
Go on a little
oh,
tangent. Or like, go on a little tangent. I gotta pee.
oh, I heard the word P like as if like the other word. I'm like, yeah, context. Your audio was cut halfway in the wrong way.
Ah, but
It,
I had to go, you know.
okay, I was like, I was thrown off when you said I like that little P. I'm like, what? And I was like, and it was cut off.
Yeah, I gotta pee. Not, I got a little pee. Like, but
I thought you meant something else wrong. I was like, oh, okay, bro.
that's why you went on a little tangent about giving clarity and like context.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. That's why.
Yeah, no, I
I was like,
just I had to use the restroom. Anyways, yeah, no, fucking what do you think about like Nick Merckx? Is he in the right and the wrong?
I say, like, here's the thing about my part. Honestly, it was just context. He's still in the right when he actually explained himself finally. Because when I first read it, right, and saw it on Twitter, right, I was thinking to myself, I can see three different ways of what it means, right? And how confusing it can mean to a lot of people. And I'm glad Nick Merckx actually described it in his video, because it came out in three ways. And don't get me wrong, some people says, "Oh, I said what I said," right? And we're like, you are a public figure. You got to make sure that context is correct, because you don't want to come out as horrible too. So when I saw three different ways of abusing his words, right? And based on what was posted, there's a lot of confusion to a person that based on their perspective. Now, to Nick Merckx and to some other people, it's like, I get them. Or like they say, oh, I get you, right? Don't get me wrong, that's correct. But to other people, it can come out the wrong way because there's so many other people that misuse words during the past. So there can be a lot of conflict. So Nick Burks finally, when you described it, it's like, no, you're not wrong. So I'm not saying I'm disregarding Nick Merckx's like, opinion, right? I fully agree with him, and I'm fully understanding what the stance are and where it heads and how like everyone's defending him. What the company should have never done was remove it and let him speak first.
Yeah.
Now, if he left it alone, it's totally Nick Merck's fault, because this guy did not bring context to the table. He is like I said, public figure, right? Whatever you say can reflect on
Context. He was
everyone.
replying to a
Yeah.
tweet.
Hmm?
He was replying to a tweet.
Yeah, and that tweet can give you confusion too. Like I said, it came with two contexts, and like the one that you described it to me a while back, right? I think it was like last week about it, is that like yeah, there was a separation of how he wants to teach his children, and of course, of what was going on with the riot. Those were two different separate contexts that we all needed to hear, but everyone was just still focused on that one context. And I think what needs to be referred to is explaining a little more better on it, because if we just outright assume one thing, it's that one thing, and everyone's going to assume it's that right one thing, and we just don't want to put that pressure. Because if you were to tell me one day saying that, oh, Tama, I don't like you, right? And then a lot of people are upset of you, and you're like saying, no, I just don't like you because you're saying X, Y, and Z. That was more context. And people can say, oh, okay, okay. Because from that moment, people thought in two ways. One, you thought that you were discriminating me or something else or something more because there is a background of me, right? People know me on the other side. But on your side, people know you on your side. So one way or another, they understand you, but the other people on my side don't understand you. So they're going to assume outright many things. But
Yeah,
when you
but if
describe it,
I was gonna say something like that, there's a different meaning than anything you just said.
yeah, but like I said, very little words can mean a lot more words if you choose to twist those words.
Yeah. So like, all right, let's say for example, Tama, I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
I love you. Divorce your fiance. You know, like that would
That can mean,
that would be the line I would go. You know,
and then, yeah, and a lot of people can think another separate two ways as well,
exactly.
too. Which,
Like, but like if I just say I don't like you and then we just leave it like that, like you already know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, oh, I know what he's gonna say. He's gonna say he loves me, whatever. Yeah, I mean, creepy ass motherfucker. But like, if we already know and we just don't even carry on that joke and people just watch that, they're gonna be like, "Is that racist?" And I would just be like, "No, I hate everyone equally." Like,
that's that's the thing, context. That's the thing we need. And honestly, that was just the situation that, everyone was confused in. And I was like, when I thought about with Nick Merck's situation, I was like, all right, I gotta hear this guy out, right? I give it a few days, right? And thank God he explained it. And I was happy. I was like, thank goodness, at least I got an answer. Not something we assume just what people say.
now I can eat the Nick Merckx cake I made.
Literally. But yes, like I said, it's not more of his fault either, but a little bit just on the context. But other than that, it's not his fault. So there was a lot to begin with on that part.
Yeah,
And
naturally.
naturally, and honestly, like I said, I'm kind of neutral as well too. So it's like I don't agree to upon agree, but this is like one of these times where I agree but slightly disagree that there's some little fault though. Some. I say some.
Yeah, but see, like with all this being said and done, right?
Mhm.
What I think is actually going on. Like this is my own personal belief. You don't have to believe me or not, but like we'll figure out the truth, okay? Like don't get me wrong, I know I'm like a little fucking crazy, but like, you know,
Mhm.
in due time we'll figure things out, okay? So like, you know, like when COVID came out and everyone said it was like a bioweapon, and then those same people who were refusing to wear a mask were also the people saying that it was a biological weapon.
Mhm.
Uh, two things. One, if it is a biological weapon, why the fuck would you not wear a mask? I'm sorry. Like, yeah, you're infringing on my rights. Bitch, you're letting China kill you.
Oh yeah, that was so like weird out of the ordinary. It's like, why would someone do the opposite?
Yeah, no, like
Like,
think about it, right? Like I'm protesting, I don't want to wear a goddamn mask. And then I go on Twitter, this COVID shit is a biological weapon. These dumb and it's like, I'm sorry, do you need a mental institution?
hmm
But here's the thing. New documents have actually just came out of the United States, and it is actually like 99% confirmed now that it is a fucking biological weapon.
it is not a surprise,
Here's the thing.
but
It's not
mm,
by the United States government that declassified these documentations. It was China by accident because they did a cave expedition and 7 employees who were there were killed by the virus first. So then they contained the virus and then took it to a lab to study it, and then it accidentally escaped.
So China shot themselves in the foot, basically.
That's the documentation they released. Okay, think about
Mm-hmm.
that. Okay, they went
Mm-hmm.
into a cave. 7 people died. They took it back to a lab, and then it accidentally escaped.
That's bad.
Yeah, no, that's a cover up. Why
Yeah.
why take it to a lab and then have it escape?
Oh
That's
yeah.
like the protocols on it are so fucking strict. You know, you got the fucking cleanse rooms, all that shit. You know, like if you know the virus is already deadly as fuck, it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be dealt with like immediately. The thing about it is that they modified it. That's the thing.
And that's
They modified it. It's still a natural disease, but they made the lethality of it a lot
mm-hmm.
higher. You ever played Plague Inc? It's like that.
Oh yeah. Basically, like it's kind of like the plague in some way when you think about it. It's kind of like similar to it, but except it's in a different version or different situation.
Yeah. Oh fuck! Did you hear about the zombie disease in Siberia?
Oh yeah, I heard about that one. That one was like people tried to contain that shit very quickly.
Dude, there was an elk and it had like no chest cavity.
Oh yeah.
Like that's some insane shit.
And there's a thing about viruses too. Those type of stuff are not meant to be messed around. Even if it's not lab contained, dude, Mother Nature's scary in its own way.
Yeah,
That's why I always get scared about that. Like little microorganisms, basically, that we have, but can be passed down if you are not cautious enough.
yeah. But like with all this stuff melting and all this, like
Mm-hmm.
the amount of stuff we're gonna find is insane.
Pretty sure. The only thing is like comes into mind as well as too, and I kind of hate to admit this, but Charles Darwin is actually pretty right on key when it comes to survival of the fittest because looking at like this situation with the virus, with COVID and all that stuff, it kind of proves a point
Yeah,
that who lives and who doesn't. And it's scary. Like all of us will be shitting ourselves because we don't know if we're gonna be the next of the food chain or next in line.
dude. If I die, it's probably because I was killed by the government.
More than likely.
Yeah, like I shit you not. Like, yeah,
I'll put it in your gravestone. I'll see.
yeah.
I'll
Just
put
carve
like,
it in with a knife. Yeah.
yeah, I'll carve it because more than likely they won't put it.
More than likely, I won't even have a tombstone. I'm at like the bottom of the ocean or something like that. Family's crying, like, "Oh my god, he was such an asshole. He didn't even leave us with a body." You know, like
Mm-hmm.
so selfish. Wants to keep everything to himself. Bitch, you took
Uh,
all my guns. No,
oh, this is gonna be a lot of mess, though. I hope that this does not reflect to us in the near future. I
oh,
hope
I
not.
hope it does because, like, look at this, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are our current thoughts right now.
Mm-hmm.
But in 20, 40 years, we would be changed people, either for better or for the worse. It doesn't really matter. But we get to look back on this today and just being like, man, we nailed those conspiracy theories. They were right. Or we look back and we're like, holy shit, you didn't trust the government? Yeah.
More like we would have been like, man, holy shit, we were off key.
Yeah, but like,
Like we,
imagine like everything we've said, all the conspiracy theories, everything, even the fucking dragons for some reason, okay? Just everything.
mm-hmm.
Like, you know, LGBTQ&A being made by the government to like, you know, fucking spew violence between the population to make anarchy so this way they can like, you know, seize militarized control over the entire nation, huh? You know, whatever. Let's just say all the conspiracy theories true. And we look back 20, 40 years and we're just like, God damn, we were smart. How would it become so fucking dumb?
More like me and you would be looking at each other as why wasn't this written by a book?
Right?
Why couldn't we not documented this?
I'm
Oh
like
well.
80 putting a butter knife in the fucking microwave thing and I need to soften the butter knife to make it so that I can cut through the butter. Like you see what
It's
I'm
fun.
saying? Like, we
Yeah.
could be like incredibly right or incredibly wrong. No way to know until the future comes.
I mean, and thing about it is that hypothetical questions are nothing but hypothetical questions. They either lean from knowledge or non from knowledge. So it's like I said, in a philosophical way for a lot of people to say, it is just a dud unless it comes true. That's it. That's all it is.
Proven
But
false.
proven false is either true or false. We don't know. It is just lingering right now. It's considered a false, but you never know. It might be considered a truth. Or if it was considered truth, it made it end up as a false.
Yeah.
One way or another, it goes both ways.
But you want to hear something crazy as fuck, though?
Hmm.
How much did Joe Biden pay out of his own money to run for office?
I don't even remember. I didn't even pay attention to that.
0%.
Damn.
Uh, who's the chick? Everyone hates her, even her. She ran for office, like first female president. Everyone hates her.
I, I'm already forgetting. I'm getting old senile at this point in
I
my
want to
life.
say Helen, but I know for a fact it's not.
It's Clinton as
Yeah,
is
that's
it?
her last name.
Yeah.
She was married to Bill Clinton. Either which way, right?
Mhm.
She paid 0% out of her own money to run for office. Do you know how much Trump paid?
Mm.
72%.
Damn.
But see, the farther we go back in presidents, the higher the percentage.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
crazy thing.
Yeah. It's Hillary Clinton. There you go.
Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking Helen.
No, you got me confused too. I was like, was it Hillary or Helen? Like, in
Yeah.
my mind, I was like, I gotta get it in my mind because my intrusive thoughts are telling me something.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? I knew it wasn't Helen, but I wanted to say Helen.
Yeah.
I was close, okay? Hillary.
Yeah. Hillary, yes. It's crazy. Yes, there was a math I learned in government on that. That apparently presidents actually paid a some lot of money, well, a sum of money, which is a lot, not a little,
Yeah.
just to become president.
And Donald Trump paid 72% of all of his campaign funds.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I thought the dude was broke as fuck. He applied for bankruptcy like what, 3 times?
Yeah, 3 times, dude. I don't know how the hell he's getting money back.
Oh,
Cause like,
I do. It is so fucking easy. When you have a large corporation, you know what you do?
hmm.
You're broke. I shit you not. Here's the reason why. The stocks and shares that you have, you go to a bank and you withdraw a loan and you put that shit up as collateral.
Hmm. Mm,
So you have legitimately no money, but you have a fuckload of money because the money is debt. It is a loan. And then you use your stocks and shares as the fucking the trade, the bargain. So like if you don't pay back the loan, guess what? They take your shares and stocks.
oh, so I get what you mean. An infinite type of money of having some type of value, a value of something.
So
So
like imagine
it,
you're checking out a loan and you put a car on the title,
yeah,
right? You put the title of your car on the loan, so this way if you don't pay back the loan, they take your car. That's how it was done. You put the stock
yeah.
shares, and then if you don't pay back the loan, they take the stocks and shares. So he
Mhm.
has no money
Because it's all on other stuff.
because it's all debt.
Yeah.
But see, that debt is his actual fucking money, and it's completely untaxable.
Hmm.
He doesn't pay tax on that money. If he sells the stocks and shares, then he pays not just capital gains, but a fuckload of other kinds of taxes on it. So it's better
Hmm.
to withdraw the money and let the banks handle it.
Hmm.
That's why,
Basically,
but rich.
the yeah. Basically, the rich is kind of like screwing the system in some way.
Yeah,
That's what I hate about it. Yeah, I remember that was part of the system itself too.
yeah. But
And
uh,
hmm?
have you ever played the lottery?
Yeah,
Okay, so your chances of winning the lottery are like 1 in like 100 million, right?
yep.
why not check out a life insurance policy on a random lumberjack or like a trucker lumberjack,
Mm-hmm.
like the people hauling the wood?
Mm-hmm.
Because then you have a one in like what 1,000 chance of that person dying, and you gain a fuckload of money.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. You get like 20,000 people, and they all like bid on this one dude. Like, oh, we all have a life insurance policy on this guy. If he dies, I want my money. And then
Mm-hmm.
he dies. The insurance company is gonna have to pay all the 20 people plus his fucking family.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like the roads that they're driving. Imagine driving a semi truck with like a shitload of wood. We're talking maybe like 14 cords of wood or more,
Mm-hmm.
in pure log form, not chopped. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, these are logs, they roll. And you're driving on a road that's made for like a Toyota.
Mm-hmm.
That's the roads they drive on.
Damn.
Yeah. Because, like, on one side, you got a mountain. Oh, it's beautiful. On the other side, oh my God, it's death.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just like, I mean, in a Big Mac. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to make some money, you can do that or go into real estate.
Oh yeah. As far as I know based on the lottery, it's already been rigged to begin with because the numbers get generated in different things too. So,
Yep.
as far as you know, if purchasing a ticket you're never gonna get the chance on it. It's like you got to get an error for that to happen,
We
and it
were,
has happened. Hmm?
we were close the last lottery.
Mm-hmm. They say the best thing you should do is always think of like the random numbers, like putting it down on your own rather than purchasing it. Because
Yeah.
if you purchase them, they're already dud to begin with.
Yes.
They're already
Those
rigged.
random
The
numbers.
computer,
Those
huh?
random numbers you're talking about, we
Yeah.
we did that the last one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For three of the number sets,
Mm-hmm.
we were one number off.
Ooh.
Yeah, three of those number sets, one digit off. Yeah, it's
Eesh.
like, oh, you need a number 11, number 64, number 13. We're like 12, 63, like just like one number off on three of them. Yeah.
Yeah. For anybody that wants to play the lottery correctly, just use the actual paper to actually guess the numbers on your own. Don't buy the thing because it's
Or
already.
here's a better idea. Don't play the fucking lottery. Just, check out a life
Yeah.
insurance policy on a lumberjack
Maybe.
or forest fire. Like the forest fighters. Fuck. The forest firefighters. There we go. I English people.
Hmm. Well, just try to spend your money wisely on other stuff. I can tell you that.
Yeah, you don't need a new PlayStation 6. Just buy a $5,000 PC that'll last you a generation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just make your investments wisely. That's all I got to say on my part right there.
Do 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 do
Do,
do do
do,
do.
do, do.
Fuck.
So, what's the right answer for everyone? Pay more money.
What?
What?
Pay more money.
uh,
Communism.
uh,
Yeah.
the concept of communism is kind of confusing there too. There's a honestly, I don't even know if that's even the best boat too, because I read through those books. It's a
Yeah.
conflicting thought.
Yeah. All for one and all for one.
Depends of how the system's made. That's the suckiest part.
You didn't catch what I said.
Mm-mm.
All for one and all for one.
Hell yeah, sinking ship.
Yeah. Like, dude, you know the guy who made the AK-47 and all those guns? Yeah.
Yep.
You know what he got in return?
Hmm.
Food. He was promised he would never starve.
Was he not starved?
Yeah, no, he ate the same food as the president.
Ooh,
Yeah, literally made by the same chefs.
damn.
Yeah, but like that goes to show, if you can make a gun, the government's gonna love you. If you can make a weapon or something that's gonna help the government, in their conquest of taking over the entire world in any shape, way, or form that they want to, they're gonna reward you. Oh, you want to be a normal civilian and just like live your life and do the right thing and just like be a normal person? Yeah, we're
Mhm.
gonna send the cops.
Oh yeah.
Have fun.
That's the thing about the systems, regardless here or anywhere else. There's always going to be trouble. I just wish there was a good system where would be valid enough for us to be more expressive, be more free, or even like be wanting to do the stuff you want rather than struggling with money.
Oh, easy. Get everyone
Mm.
to learn the Constitution.
Mm.
Then make it so that life insurance is free for everyone.
Oh, try fighting that with both sides.
No, seriously.
Oh.
Like, think about this. How do you end any and all unlawful deaths, like police shootings, all of them?
Mm-hmm.
How do you end every single one of them in one fell swoop?
If they were all under life insurance.
Yes, but not just like, oh, I put 5 grand in. No, we're talking like, if you're gonna have a fucking life insurance policy, everyone should have it. Okay,
Yeah.
make it 100,000 minimum.
Oh
Minimum.
yeah. Dude, that would solve a lot of issues between discrimination to corrupt police brutality, everything. Because
Yes.
now everyone's going to be on the edge of like, if I fuck up, I fucked up.
Yeah, but like think about it like this, right? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Police, get your hands up. He's got a gun. Pop, pop, pop. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, just doing that. And also, YouTube, fuck off. There's not one in the chamber. I'm safe. Put a hole for the ceiling. Anyways, but what I'm getting at with this is like, you know, if you have that life insurance policy, what would happen is that the fucking insurance company wouldn't want to pay it out. They wouldn't want to. So here's what they get to do. The person who caused the unlawful death, or the company, or the state, doesn't matter, or the city, or the government, doesn't matter. They would take that individual or entity to court and sue for like triple the fucking amount, because
Mm-hmm.
1/3 of that payout will go to the individual that has to be paid.
Oh yeah.
One other third goes into the insurance company. They're like, we're rich. And then the other third is like going to the lawyers.
Oh yeah.
But here's the thing, that initial payment that the insurance company had
Mm-hmm.
always just stayed with the company. So imagine if you're a company that has $100 million, and the only reason why is because some dude in Saudi Arabia is like, hey, I'm gonna put $100 million into your company as long as you give me life insurance. And that
Mm-hmm.
100 million is his. He put it into the company. That's all the money. If he dies, his family gets 100 million.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say he was uh, driving on the street, and then like the entire police station attacked him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that insurance company is going to sue and attack and do all that shit. Blah 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 blah. We just went over all this, and then his family gets the 100 million.
Mm-hmm.
The company gets another 100 million, and then the lawyers split between 100 million. So the company has 200 million, his family gets 100 million, and the lawyers get 100 million.
Basically, kind of like an endless loop of uh, money, like issues. Like,
Yeah,
rather than losing money, you're actually still having the money still put in there.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They never spent a goddamn dime.
Yeah. It's basically it's just an empty slope being filled.
Yep.
It's a good idea, to be honest. And I actually the universal healthcare or universal, regardless, you know, and life insurance is also still a good thing, regardless.
Yes. So the thing about it is that, guess what? If
Mm-hmm.
we just made life insurance policies available to everyone for free at no cost, and like you could set like a certain amount, right? Unless you had to pay. So let's say everyone gets a minimum of $100,000 life insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say you're rich as fuck, and then you're like, okay, I want to put in $40 billion into this company for life insurance. So then your life insurance policy is like, hey, we can't afford to pay your family $1 trillion. You know, Like that would be the fucking level of it, you know? If you want a higher life insurance policy, yeah, pay, right? But
Hmm.
everyone should just have a free fucking flat one. Now, a lot of people aren't gonna like this. Oh, that's gonna make the taxpayers pay more money. Motherfucker, these are private companies. Taxpayers do not fund private companies. We do not get government loans to run Microsoft.
No.
We do not get government loans to run Steam. We don't get government loans to run Taurus. We don't get government loans for construction. Well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they do, but it's different. Okay, it's whatever. But you
The
get my point. Like,
mhm.
it's not like taxpayer money going and paying for the life insurance. It's just fucking life insurance, just straight up.
Oh yeah, and I think that should be separate regardless, because if it's being put in together, there can be an issue at hand. I think.
It'd be even better if, like, health insurance was free. Like Obamacare. Yeah, sure, that was good, but it costs money, man.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of issues back then with that. To be honest.
The website, all that shit. Dude, Obama said himself in an interview with Hassan Mashan. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I probably butchered the fuck out of his name. I watched him on Netflix. But the interview, uh, he said probably the worst mistake I made in my presidency was that website. Like,
Oh yeah, it's like he admitted that part. Like I remembered, it
yeah,
got better over time, but it's just shit. It was horrible.
yeah.
I heard about the family members I knew because low income here. Um, yeah,
I got.
apparently
I'll be back.
they, huh?
I gotta pee
Oh,
up.
okay. Apparently over here, um, yeah, Obamacare was the really bad over here. Like, it was gouging money from the family members I knew. By the time they left the insurance later on, within a few years from now, it got better, yes, and now is in good use. But I think it starting it out was pretty horrible itself. When it comes to those type of yeah, life insurance, you know, including like healthcare and all that categories, I think there should be a system that's specifically does not gouge a lot of people and help a lot of people. As far as what Aries has described, maybe they should be taking the responsibility to look for that person who's caused, detrimental life to that one person with that life insurance, because it takes responsibility. So if that person were to actually get injured, of course, you already know what their life insurance is going to do. And I think as for healthcare, I don't know if the system should be applied the same way too, but it is a conflicting thing, but I think it should be.
Well, I mean,
But there's,
like,
hmm?
I've already created like a solution to fix the thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know how like the medical industry, like if you go to a hospital, you have to pay a fuckload of money, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hospitals, how they operate is that they will set the amount. So like if they know if an insurance will pay more, they'll demand more.
Mm-hmm.
So like I want to kind of like make a hospital that like if you have insurance, oh fuck yes, thank you. But if you don't have insurance, okay, it's okay. You're good. You're taken care of. Here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you pay for your insurance?
Right now, the most low ball thing I have right now, because low income here,
Yes.
um, $15 a month.
The fuck?
Yeah,
Dude, that's really good. That
yeah,
that is really good.
yeah. Ironically, since I'm getting paid little here, because remember, low income over here,
Yeah.
some life no health insurances actually are flexible depending where you go. I heard a friend of mine, rather than me, right, is paying $300 a month.
Okay, so here's the weird thing. Okay, my area is a low income too, because like
Hmm.
the minimum wage here is like 7.25, and that's like the main source of job you can fucking find here.
Oh yeah, it's the same here too. It is like I'm being paid decently over here, but like because of
Yeah,
connections.
I know, but like the fucking health insurance shit that's cost for
Mhm.
me is like 250 something like that.
God damn.
Yeah, and like the thing is like I don't even have life insurance, kid. This is like my family's shit, but like
Hmm.
it's kind of fucked on that aspect, like where like you're expected like it. Did you know it's a crime to not have like life insurance policy and shit?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
one
that,
hundred
that's
percent.
that's kind of like fucked, because like most people can't find a fucking job, so like they created laws to make it so that you can arrest anyone at any given time. Like, think about this:
Ooh,
any homeless person right now, you can go up and arrest them. You know why?
mm,
They don't have a health insurance plan.
ooh, that's bad actually.
Yeah, that means that we can fill up our prisons at any given moment.
Oh, that makes me speculate about something else about this, but I'll tell you, this one's like a later topic about that one.
I know, but yeah, you see what I'm saying, though? Because
Yeah.
think about it like this, right? It is a federal offense to smoke marijuana.
Oh yeah. Over here, even though it's legalized in some extents, it's still considered illegal because it's not really
Yes.
e- fully accepted in other places.
Is it a Bud Light? I'm joking. Anyways, uh, but no, think about it like this, right?
Hmm.
It's a federal offense to smoke marijuana.
Hmm.
So if you go and buy a gun and it says, "Do you take any illegal drugs or narcotics or anything and such?" and you say no and you smoke pot, you just committed another felony with perjury,
Oh yeah, big time.
even though it's legal in your state.
Yeah, dude. Do you want to know what our law over here is? And I think it's stupid.
But
If you take two ibuprofens in front of the police officers, that's considered a violation. You can get arrested for that. Apparently, taking two ibuprofens is considered 400 milligrams, so it's over the dosage, and technically by law you need to have prescription for that. So, yeah, you can get arrested for just taking two pills of ibuprofen.
so
That's all it
if
takes.
I had 120 tablets and each tablet was 20 milligrams, and I'm just like pop like four of them in front of them, and they're just like, "You're under arrest." I'm like, "You gotta catch me," and flash them. Like,
Yeah, literally, you can be arrested for something so stupid.
yeah, but like it wasn't even 400 milligrams. No,
It's still,
public indecency. No, you friend to arrest me before.
yeah. If they see you taking certain medications, it depends as well too. But apparently, ibuprofen is one of them.
Yeah, but see, like the thing about it is, like, imagine you're driving down the street. Well, anyways, imagine like you're driving down the street and you
Hmm.
get pulled over by a cop.
Hmm.
What do you do?
Apparently, you gotta ask the you gotta wait until the police officer goes to you and ask, "Why were you stopped?"
No, here's what I would do. Okay, I would turn on the light to the cabin,
Mm-hmm.
turn that on so that
Mm-hmm.
they can see the front and the back, and they don't have to shine a fucking flashlight in your goddamn eyes, so that they don't have
Mm-hmm.
an excuse to do that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you then take your phone and start recording. Uh, try and like record horizontally, like, "Hey guys, I'm getting pulled over by the cops." Titty, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like do that, okay? But like open your glove box, grab your documents. I have mine in an envelope, close it, and then have that there. Set your phone down like on the dash so it can like just record everything for you.
Mm-hmm.
And like just like either keep your hands like either outside the window with the papers, or which I don't recommend doing the first one, but you can do that. Or have this one recording, make it completely known it's recording, and then the other one have the papers and just like have it on the steering wheel. You can have it like this. You can have it on the front camera so you know you're not hitting the end button, etc. Shit like that don't matter. What you've
Mm-hmm.
done is you made it so that if they shine their flashlight into your eyes or into the camera, they have committed a policy violation, and it also violates the First Amendment of the
Mm,
Constitution, which is the right to freedom of speech. And
mhm,
that being said, recording is freedom of speech. So therefore, you are legally allowed to record any government official in any capacity whatsoever. By them shining a light into it is infringing on your rights.
mm,
By turning on the lights, it made it even justified that the cop didn't even need to shine the light into the camera to identify what the object was.
mm.
By having your papers on hand makes it so that if you reach into the glove box, makes it so that he can't fucking shoot you saying you were reaching for a goddamn gun.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
The only thing, just make sure anybody that's looking on the policy of recording, make sure it's illegal in the state you're in, because there are some policies in other states that don't allow you to record. So check with your
incorrect.
law.
Incorrect.
Oh,
It's a constitutional right. Your
it
states,
should be.
your states cannot override the fucking constitution. So if it is against the law in your area, you can then sue your fucking state.
Oh, then a lot of people owe a lot of suing to those states. Like those states owe people money because
Yes.
apparently those people could not even justify it when they restarted recording.
But see, recording is a First Amendment protected activity.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the right to bear arms, there are restrictions and limitations,
Mm-hmm.
but it's all within the Constitution that you have the right.
Mm-hmm.
So if I am recording a police officer and the police officer tells me to turn it off, that is a violation of my right. However,
Mm-hmm.
if they tell me I need to step back because I'm in an active crime scene, I'm gonna be like, where's the tape? They have to designate the area that we are not allowed to enter in, and then I can record on the other side of the tape and be like, hey guys, look at this fuckwit.
Mm.
See what I'm saying?
I get you. But that's like I said, there is a conflict between that issue too with the state.
Yes. But states
So
cannot limit you on recording government officials. If it
I
is
know.
like restricted areas, that is a different policy. In restricted
Mm-hmm.
areas, yeah, you can't because of something else. It's not because of their government. It's because like personal information being disclosed, like the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
You can record in the DMV in certain areas, but they don't want you to record because you will pick up other people's information, addresses, phone numbers, birth dates, social security numbers, etc. Shit like that. That's
And
why it's
those make sense.
yeah.
It's just weird that the fact,
You're good.
yeah, that makes sense. But the fact that like some states try to get away with other stuff, it doesn't make sense. Like I've seen a lot of like people complain that they couldn't even record because it's considered against the law.
And
So
it's
it's
not.
kind of weird.
That's another thing right there. The
Yeah.
police are legally allowed to lie to you.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
so let's say I'm a police officer, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you on the night you were born?
I don't eat. Oh, like if you were to ask me, right?
Yes, like I'm a cop, you're a civilian. Where were you on the night you were born?
I would probably say I have the right to speak to my attorney because the more you talk to the police officer, the more likely you give them the authority to actually accuse you for something.
But you don't need an attorney because this is just me and you conversating right now. I'm not investigating you. You're not detained. We're just having a normal conversation.
Hmm. I mean, that's still trick because I remember that certain police officers don't need to like have a reason to stop you if you run into them.
The proper response is, oh, since this is a casual conversation, I deem this conversation over. You have a good night. Bye.
Oh yeah, you don't have to speak to them, but
If you're being detained, then just say, I plead
yeah.
the fifth and I request an attorney and a supervisor.
Hmm. But I feel like if it was an aggressive answer first in the beginning, because
Ah,
that
fuck that.
could be that can be aggressive as well too.
Yeah, but like, where were you on the night you were born? And your mom.
Uh, Mm. You should never say that, honestly. But honestly, yeah, like I was like, I don't want to speak to you, or I have a right not to speak to you, and you can just leave.
Yeah, but like that's the thing about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the right to plead the fifth, okay? And the fifth is the right to remain silent because you do not have to give the police information that will incriminate yourself. And do keep in mind, the police are not your friends. They're going to try and figure out any and every information to try and charge you with something, even if you didn't even do it. Fun
Oh yeah.
fact here, a woman can ruin your life in a sentence. And if you get a cop over to where you are and he's like, oh, I trust her more than you, she's frail. You're a 6'4" fucking buff dude, ripped shit, got guns and tats and shit, got the Punisher logo tattooed on his chest. I trust her a lot more than you. So, what kind of muffler is that on your car? You know, they're gonna get you for something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I saw you on October fucking 1974. You weren't wearing a seatbelt, sir. There was no seatbelts back then. Aha! Got you, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. They use a lot of trick questions as well. Is like the first thing you can always say for sure without doubt is don't speak with the police officer at all.
Yeah,
That's the only thing you can do, and that's the only thing you should do because even when you get detained and get sent to like investigation, one thing you should always request is a lawyer and nothing else. Don't even speak on their behalf. No matter if they offer you a drink or anything like that, just wait for your lawyer. Don't even bother speaking.
nah, fuck that. Get food. Waste your money.
Oh,
Request like a McDonald's cheeseburger or Wendy's baconator and a fucking large Pepsi.
oh
Because
yeah, okay. You can ask a
fucking right.
specific.
It's a human
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Oh, you can ask specific questions. Say, hey, I'm hungry. I need some food. That's it.
Yeah,
And if they try to persuade you, saying, well, we can't give you this unless you sign this, like I'm not signing it. I'm just hungry. I need
no, 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 no.
food.
If they try and say something like that, you're like, so you're violating my constitutional rights. Where's my attorney?
Hmm.
You're
And
literally
they're gonna
charging
keep.
me to death. This will be a lawsuit.
Hmm. But it would vary because they can change those words too. So it would be best, yes, still to say that, but after that, you should stop speaking because they're gonna keep going at you.
Yeah, but like, if you're following like the actual protocol, because like some of the shit I'm saying is mainly jokes, okay?
Hmm.
But like, all right, Tama, you're the cops. I'm, in holding. You're not arresting me. You're interrogating me, and I'm like hungry. I haven't ate in 12 hours, right?
Hmm.
Try and get information out of me.
We can't.
Where's my
It's like the
cheeseburger?
first, huh?
Where's my cheeseburger?
Well, we'll get your
Where's my
cheeseburger later, but after
every
you
time
sign
you
this
talk, I
paper.
talk over you.
I'm sorry, but this is. Oh, we need to
Where's
speak
my
to you about a
cheeseburger?
certain invitation, huh?
Hungry as fuck. I'm waiting for the attorney. You're keeping me here, held hostage. Where's my food? I'm hungry.
Oh, your food will be coming on the way. Oh, we just need to speak to you as well as many other
Not talking
questions.
because I am hungry. I am cranky. I am hungry.
We
I
we
want my food.
uh
But you
yeah,
say
but as far as I know,
you're
it's
just
an
acting
endless
like
loop
a
of.
fucking child, you're golden.
Oh yeah, if you act like a child, yeah. You gotta waste their energy because they're gonna keep saying the same thing I'm saying and keep trying to define more ways. And the one thing it's always said, don't sign the paper. You like to sign out your Miranda rights or something like that. Just keep them on the hold for a long time.
Like, even with all this being said and done, oh, we need you to sign this paper. I ain't signing anything. And why is that? Because I can't think clearly, because I'm hungry.
Yeah, but just be careful because they can get you on verbal.
I know it's a joke. It was a fucking joke, okay? That's like, don't,
Yeah, I get
yeah, like, look up your laws, understand the circumstance. I'm just like being a comedian and talking about random shit, but, obviously, okay? If you're
you.
fucking
Yeah.
hungry and you request food, they're legally supposed to get you food.
Oh yeah.
They don't have to get you exactly what the fuck you requested. It's not your last meal. So if they have like the prison in house and like they're like, okay, we'll just get you some meal from the child. Guess what? You're gonna prison slot. Okay, it's not gonna
Yep.
be luxurious, but it's still food, and it wasted their fucking time
Oh yeah.
because legally the cops can hold you for like what 24, 48 hours.
Yeah, they can hold you for that long.
Yeah, so legally, like they have to get you food and all this other shit. And I'm sorry if I'm being held. I'm just being like, man, it's really cold. I wish I had a blanket. Hey, wait, I don't need a wish, officer. Where's my fucking blanket, motherfucker?
Mhm.
I'm sorry. It's a joke, but you see my point.
Yeah,
Genie,
wasting their hmm? Yep.
run the lamp.
Wasting yep, wasting their time and making sure you get your point across is more important.
Yeah, and you're still held for an attorney. So they're like, I'm not going to answer any questions until I speak with a lawyer, and I also want food. And they're like, well,
Mm.
what kind of food you want? I don't answer questions. That's really fucked up, you know?
Yep.
Like,
Oh god.
hi, welcome
Uh
to the police station. What can we get you? Yeah, I'm hungry. Can I get a
uh
police brutality?
can I get a piece of a burger and a whoop ass to this police officer right that's right behind me? I was like, what? I like nothing. Nothing.
Hi, welcome to Wendy's. How can I help you? Hi, I gotta get food for this prisoner who's an asshole. So can you jerk off into food?
And you're in the background. I wonderful asshole. Though you don't say.
And
It's
hey,
like
make
shut up.
sure it's a male doing it.
Oh god, I can imagine you just having the fun of your life right there.
Yeah, God,
Uh,
you see what I'm saying though? Like,
yeah, it's just a matter is just don't reply to their answers. Don't even bother saying a yes or no question. That is the one thing they'll get to you.
where are you coming from? No
Give them that.
hablas español.
Oh yeah. Unless they
Don't
just
even,
speak Spanish.
don't even say that. Don't, no, don't.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. But no, for real, if they're asking you like questions, just like, I plead the fifth. I request an attorney and a supervisor.
There's a guy in a video that actually did like outburn the police officers, and he's known to be a convict during those situations. But he says, "I'm tired of your bullshit. I know you're gonna accuse me for shit that I did not do." And it was like, but sir is like, no, I need an attorney. I don't care. You're gonna say this and that and assume that I'm gonna be accused of that certain thing. And then you're gonna say I'm gonna be arrested. So I plead the fifth. Until you give me a good answer of anything else, I'm gonna stay here.
See, that person infringed on their own rights. That's the thing. When you say
Mm-hmm.
that you plead the fifth, you should
Mm-hmm.
only say after that, I request an attorney and a supervisor.
Yeah.
Saying
But he didn't.
anything else can waive that entire right.
Oh yeah. But he kept going back and forth, and I think those police officers didn't do a good job at it too.
Yes,
So.
but like they did do a good job, but they got him to continue talking after he said that he pleads the fifth.
Oh yeah.
Because the thing is that once you plead the fifth, you got to be like, I request an attorney and a supervisor. If you request something like, I need water, I need a soda, I need coffee, I need food, that's different from like, hey, I killed the person down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Like you plead the fifth, you're cutting all like civil
Like,
conversation and it's only like requests. It's only like formal fucking shit. It's
oh
just
yeah.
that simple. It just works.
Yeah, it works. It's just a weird way that someone got away with it though.
Yeah, fuck
With
you.
that.
So
But it's I guess logic can be thrown off that reason too. So it's like, huh.
fuck
Oh well.
you, Call of Duty.
Huh?
Fuck you, Call of Duty.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah, but like, that's how like the entire cookie crumbles, right? Like if you're gonna
Yeah.
plead the fifth, you have to stay true to the fifth. Don't answer any questions. They ask you for your name, don't even say like, you know, it's only formal requests. Like,
Mm-hmm.
uh, sir, we need you to get out of the seat. It's like, the fuck? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like either they're letting you go or you're gonna stay there a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, legally they can hold you for 48 hours. Something else I learned about the police, uh, let's say I'm in my house just chilling, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a mass shooter next door.
Mm-hmm.
What am I supposed to do?
I really don't know.
If the cops knock on my door and request to use the property, they don't have to request. They can just seize it.
Damn.
Yeah. So like if they're dealing with an imminent threat to public safety and public health, they can just seize your property. So if you have a very luxurious car, let's say an Audi, right? Like a very
Mhm.
luxurious car parked in your driveway, those cops can come over and set their guns on your car and just like line up a shot and they can like just like mag dump. Okay. They can just do whatever the fuck they want.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter what the fuck happens to your car because you're gonna be held liable. You can't sue the police officer. You can't do shit.
Oh yeah, because of the law itself.
Exactly, because it was an imminent threat to public health and safety.
Mhm.
Your property, that don't matter.
Mhm.
Now, if they came into your house requesting your property and then they shot your dogs, then yeah, you can sue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a total difference, but property is one thing, living things is another.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like the shootings, they've gone way the fuck up, man. It's horrendous.
Oh yeah. I'm not surprised. I can tell you. I'm not gonna say this one, but there was apparently you can find me very quickly if I were to say this one. But yeah, shootings are more common.
Yeah,
I can't say it because this is like
I,
kind of
I
doxing.
know some, but like there was a shooting, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were robbing a bank.
Mm-hmm.
This dude who was standing there, he was like a retired police officer or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Instantly dropped the robbers. Instantly, no one was
Damn.
except the robbers. He was crucified.
Mm.
He shouldn't have done it. The police were going after him, all that shit, like, oh, you can't be doing this, etc. Yada 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 yada. The thing is that nowadays, how bank robberies happen is they execute the bank tellers.
Oof.
And he's a cop, so he knew about it, and he knew that people were gonna be hurt,
Mm.
so he took them out. Every citizen was like praising him. The company of the bank and the police station were telling him you shouldn't have done that.
Mm.
Large corporations and the government don't give a fuck about your own health.
No.
They don't give a fuck about you. Yeah, sure. There's probably like a good or a lot of good apples that do care about you, want to do right and do justice. But all of the public figures you see, running for president, Congress, Senate, anything really,
Mm-hmm.
the majority of them don't give a fuck about you.
Oh no. I know that for 100% of the time because really, it's coming like from a weird sketch out political place of it. Like, how the hell did they get the money? You tend to question like whether or not they are a good position, to be a good leader.
It's from their friends. That's where they get their money.
Oh yeah, but
Because
there's always hmm?
they're friends. Like, think about it like this, right? Let's say I'm a
Mm-hmm.
billionaire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you need to become president?
Money.
You need a master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be a certain age and a fuckload of money for advertising.
Mm-hmm.
So, therefore, I'm a billionaire. You're broke as fuck. Well, you're young as shit. So, how long does it take for you to get your master's?
It'll probably take like at least 6 years.
I thought it was a lot longer. Like, I thought it was like,
Uh, and maybe 6 to 8, depending on whether or not how far you start early.
okay, whatever. You need a master's degree, and you need to be like, what, 32, 42, something like that to be able to run for president. I forgot the age limit. But what I would do as a billionaire, because I want to keep my money and control whoever's in office, I would just, go to a person like you, pay for your
Mm-hmm.
entire college tuition to make it so that you get a master's degree and that you think of me highly as your friend and shit. And I'm like, hey, I don't like the taxes. Can you help me out?
Mm-hmm.
Can you make a loophole?
Yeah.
I want to start a PMC. Can you help me out? Like, can you
Mm-hmm.
give me some government contracts? You know, like send us to Iraq,
Mm-hmm.
Iran, Afghanistan, Kuwait, South Africa, the Congo,
Mm-hmm.
Egypt, Chihuahua,
Everything.
Chihuahua, Mexico, Chile, Antarctica, Russia, England, China,
Mm-hmm.
Japan, Korea, Australia.
Mm-hmm.
All these places I just listed, Blackwater has been.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is that those are the only ones I have memorized. There was so many fucking more though. like
I'm pretty sure there is a long list there.
yeah, but like I just listed like the first like top ones I fucking read, and then there's like a fuckload more down that I just don't give a shit about because I don't want to memorize pi. Okay, like, but like
Yeah.
seriously, all those places that's where Blackwater was operating, and now they're under a new name that I don't know. But that's the point.
Oh yeah. There's a certain thing. If you have connections to something, there's always another puppet master over another person.
Yeah, because I mean,
So it's kind. Huh?
when Bill Clinton was fucking Monica Lewinsky and all that shit, you know, like doing all that fucked up shit, getting high, getting on the drugs, all that shit. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck
Yeah, I
was
remember.
going on in the White House? Where were all the drama and all the scandals and all the things that were popping up? It was all about him, just like doing those things. But then there was like human rights being atrocious, you know, like killings, all of it. Like, huh? Why does
Mhm.
everyone not talk about that? But everyone wants to talk about Monica Lewinsky.
Oh yeah, that's always been a thing in common history too. The matter of like deceiving others to like think of one thing rather than following what's important on the other side. So
Yes.
distraction.
Control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the YouTube video I sent you like a while back of all the news stations saying the same exact fucking thing?
Oh yeah, dude. I've seen that. It was like I've seen it like years ago.
Yeah.
That it was all put together, and I was like, dude, that's freaking crazy. It's like a copy and paste of every police. I mean, not police, but like every news channel out there,
Yep.
and it's word by word. So it's like it's a big coincidence.
That's why I don't really give a fuck about the news because I mean, like for fuck's sake, they can even get the weather wrong.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I gave up on the news a long time ago. It's like I can't even trust the news because they don't even give accurate information at all.
If they
It's
can't
like,
tell me what the weather is going to be, how can I trust them to tell me what a police report says?
yeah. And then when you look into it, it's like, oh, there was more to this. They just saturated it and covered more of the crucial details that people needed.
Yeah, and they're gonna say shit like, "Oh, well, weather is tricky, you know, like it's hard to study the clouds." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, so you're a meteorologist, right? Yeah, that's your
Mm,
profession, yeah? How the fuck do
yeah.
you not know your own profession?" Because
Mm.
I watched a YouTube video last year and it predicted a hurricane season for the next year.
Oh yeah. If
Like,
people want to also know a better example, Fox News. That's all you got to say.
yeah, but like Tommy, you remember, uh, we were in like fucking what? It was before October. We did a podcast and I like tried to warn everyone about the winter, saying that it was going to be like the worst winter for a lot of the region, and then it was the worst winter.
Mm-hmm.
Like people, you know, freezing to death and starving in their cars alongside the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was last winter.
Damn.
I predicted it before October. Here's the thing: I'm not a meteorologist. I don't know this shit. I literally watched a fucking YouTube video.
Mm.
It was proven right.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised that. That's also a thing of a different nuance too. YouTubers tend to get a little bit more accurate compared to news channels, sadly.
Yes, but see, he predicted the weather
Mm-hmm.
literal like 4 fucking months before December.
God damn.
That's the thing.
But how did he predict it? Is it like did they have a device or did they
No, they
talk to
just look up the
someone?
satellite footage, and at the same time, like he just studies the globe with the shit. Like, all right, you remember I
Oh,
talked about
okay.
El Nino?
Huh?
El Nino?
No, I do not know.
Okay, so that's like the Pacific Ocean and like a large region of it becoming incredibly fucking warm or hot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like when you go to the ocean, it'll be like all cold and shit.
Yeah.
Imagine if it's warm,
Mm.
but on a very large surface area. Let's say California to Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
and then spread that down to Chile. A very large surface area of waters warm, and then
Mm-hmm.
the Atlantic Ocean is cold.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when the warm air hits the cold air?
Usually water tends to
No, we
expand.
get spirals that come from the sky and rain hell down upon us as we get thrown across our state.
Ah,
Warm air, cold air makes tornadoes.
oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But also, when a large entity of hot air is forming and it meets the cold air
Mm-hmm.
over an ocean, that's how we get category 1 hurricanes
Mm-hmm.
or more. Yeah,
Damn.
let's escalate it. Tropical storms, it doesn't matter. Like that's how they are formed. Hot
Mm-hmm.
air meaning cold air over a region of land or water. When it's land,
Mm-hmm.
it's a tornado. The largest tornado was like larger than a city.
Damn.
Yeah. And I think it went for like 7 miles or something like that. I forget the name of it. Otherwise, I'll look it up and show pictures. But it was a massive, and it kind of like drew like a penis, you know?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but like it was massive. Like you have a city here, and then it's just like, hey, I'm gonna be here, and I'm gonna just go up like this way. Yeah, it was a massive tornado. I think it was either a mile or more wide.
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine that. The tornadoes we normally see are like the size of a house,
Oh yeah.
or like a city block, or not a city block, like it's you know a cul-de-sac.
Mm-hmm.
This one's like a mile or more. It could have been like 2.3, so somewhere around there. Like it was a mile or more.
Mm.
Imagine that shit.
Crazy.
Welcome to Tennessee. Get thrown across the state.
Pretty much.
Onward to Kentucky.
Hell yeah. Where you fly to the sky.
It's like Spirit Airlines, but safer.
Pretty much.
Got
Uh.
that shit though.
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine that actually being like a spokes line for something like welcome to Tornado Alley. It's safer than Spirit.
Oof. That'd be a good slogan, but then it'll be pretty like pretty burn at the same time.
Yeah. Spirit Airlines suing for defamation. And it's like, it's not defamation. How many planes have you crashed this year? That's besides the point.
Yeah, literally.
Well,
Uh,
apparently you killed 174,000 people on your airplane. Shut the fuck up. We've killed 5. Is it still defamation? Because it's all on Google. Are you not going to sue Google?
literally.
Yeah, but either way, really stupid shit. A lot of conspiracy theories, a lot of random news, a lot of random bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's all psychotic as fuck, and we are completely over time.
Yep, I just realized that too.
Yeah. Anyways,
But
thank you to
I
everyone
think
tuning in during or after the fact. It really does mean a lot. Thank you guys. Please, everyone, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay you. I will see you guys in the next one. So please have a good one and
peace,
peace.
everyone. Peace.
It's still not ended. I'm gonna wait until it hits 2 hours.
All right.
You can do
I
your
already,
yeah.
I already ended it in my site. I think that's a better fit with it too.
Ah, okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm letting it go to like 2 hours flat,
makes sense.
which I know it's gonna shave off a couple seconds, but who cares?
Yeah, it's something.
America.
Okay.
Barracuda. You know, if you ever see a person driving a Jaguar in a trailer park, they probably have drugs.
More than likely.
Little fun fact for the day. God, my
Just
throat
remember.
hurts.
Yeah.
I'm a throat goblin.
Okay. You gotta go all that